Welcome back, everyone, to the SLTV, Season 1 Hearthstone LAN Finals. The thing with the, intro videos that everybody here looks like they're very happy, which actually they are in real life, but there's not as much dynamism in the interviews as we see there.
No, they're just chilled out. They're just kind of answering questions. But no, Stan Sikra seems super happy when he's answering questions. He always does. But yeah, everyone's having a good time here. We're having a good time. The players are having a good well, maybe not Calento.
Maybe not Calento right now. I mean, in the back room, he seemed very stone-faced.
Yeah, he was kind of retreated
silence
into himself, and he's kind of thinking about things. He didn't want to go party just yet, even though his day's over. But, he might lighten up a little bit, and he'll be happy later. So we have the winners portion coming up, winners bracket. Orange and Thijs, both of these guys who are the top seeds of the round robin. So staying consistent with how they've performed through the week. These guys are going to play out now for a spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, it's very important for them to win now because that way they don't have to bother with maybe having to go up against Stan Sivka. Admittedly, though, they both beat him in the prior rounds in the round robin phase, so they probably feel okay if they have to go down. Their confidence must be fairly high, but again, you don't want to be there. You don't want to risk getting really bad draws. Things don't line up. Stan Sivka gets a good one while you don't. So to avoid variance, they want to win this match. Orange wants it. Thijs wants to keep the hot streak going, at least get a top 2. Before we go on to the match, though, they have something to tell us, so we'll watch some interviews.
I'm actually pretty good friends with a lot of people in the Hearthstone scene. Of course, my teammates, life coach Radu and Lothar, we are talking a lot with each other. We have a lot of calls, but also besides that, meeting all the, especially European players that we are a bit closer to. It's really cool to meet them on all the tournaments and just hanging out some time. The Hearthstone scene is pretty friendly, and I like to also meet everyone again at all the LAN tournaments. The practice before tournaments goes a bit differently. I always look first at what is the format and what can I expect, and then I look. Sometimes they announce the group before. That is a pretty important thing. If you know which players you play against, then it makes a lot of sense to predict that. How my normally practice goes, of course I stream a lot and I play a lot on the ladder. That's one, but I think a second thing, and that is playing against teammates, playing against friends, to play these certain matchups you expect and your opponents. I think practicing against your teammates is something that is maybe even underestimated, and it really helps me a lot to do. In the whole world, and also in this tournament, Calento was always a big challenge for me. We played each other so many times, and we are around 50-50 against each other, but every time we play for almost nothing, I win. And every time we play from the big tournaments or going to BlizzCon, he has an edge. So I will play him again, and I hope that I can give my best a matchup that I always like. There is a place for coaching. In Hearthstone it is a bit different than in other games. There is a lot of strategy behind, but having a coach or an analyzer really helps. I'm doing it a lot of myself now, but I think maybe in the future you will see something where other people can take that spot to make sure you can focus full on the game and can just trust these people to make good analysis, good coaching for you. Coach doesn't really have to be a coach. It can also, but being a player is not only understanding the game. You still have to you need a right mindset. You need to have the motivation. You need the mindset of trying to improve every day and every time, and spend a lot of your time into the game. And it's something that you have to consider for yourself if it is worth it. It takes a lot more from yourself than people sometimes think. And a coach can do a lot, and he can be a super good Hearthstone player too. But it's hard to improve all the time. I have some experience with coaching. I analyze a lot. I analyze a lot with my teammates. I did some coaching even to new players. I help my brother or my friend sometimes with the game. So yeah, I know how to coach a bit, but it's something I like to do for some time, but it's not something I can do all the time.
Yeah, so Thijs, there's one thing to say about him. He was talking about coaching and having an analyst on your team. I think his entire team never had an analyst. If anything, they're one of the few that just don't have one. I know that Caldi joined, I think Tempo Storm, just correct me if I'm wrong, as an analyst. Monk is the analyst for Team Liquid for the most part. Does a lot of the statistical groundwork to feed his players the data that they need. G2, on the other hand, they're all doing what they have themselves. On one hand, I think it might make them, better because they get the data firsthand, but on the other, it takes a lot of time.
I mean, look at Life Coach. He's such an analytical player anyway. Would you really need a coach if you have a Life Coach on your team? He is a coach. He is Life Coach. He coaches you for everything. Literally. So, yeah, G2 not really needing that coach role in their team. Tempo Storm opting for Caldi. He's a great choice as well. I know Caldi's a friend of mine. I know. And Purple was the coach of Archon as well, and now he's America's champion. So just goes to show how far a coach role can actually go, not only as someone who guides other players, but actually improving yourself as a player.
Yeah, I think overall they tend to be great players themselves, because otherwise how would you be able to pass on the knowledge, of course. So that being said, we'll watch what Orange has to say about various Hearthstone topics, and then we'll move on to the match.
I know that players like Colento have something absurd, I think, over like 15,000 wins in ranked and stuff. I'm not like that, but I play several hours a day. Ranked, ladder, practice with friends. I spend most of my day doing Hearthstone related stuff, and a lot of that is also playing the actual game. I'll admit, I'm not a very good deck builder myself, so usually when I prepare decks for a tournament, I take someone else's ideas, but even if I'm not building the decks, I'm really good at tuning them, like changing a couple of cards here and there to make a good deck into a perfect deck. That's what I think is my big strength in Hearthstone. For me, what I'm doing now is kinda what I want to do. I want to, of course, right now my goal is to become, my end goal is to become the best player in the world, and I'm not anywhere close to that yet, so that is a goal I'm striving for. Looking into the future, even if I can't remain a professional player for a really long time, I want to work within esports in one way, shape, some kind of way, like even if it's being a manager, organizing events, whatever. I know that I want to do esports going in the long run.
So Orange wants to stay in the esports scene. Understandably, it's a great place to be. He says that he wants to become eventually the best player in the world. He said he was disappointed as well in not having qualified or gone through to BlizzCon recently.
He was really close as well, though, so Orange just fell a little bit short, but, he still knows that he needs to do a bit of self-improving, maybe work on his game a bit, and even now it's showing that he's taken those steps to becoming a top player. I mean, he is a top player, but becoming an even better one. I mean, if he gets a win here against Thijs, it'll be a massive boost, not only for his confidence, but also for his results as well, because he's already beaten Thijs this week.
Exactly.
Getting it back-to-back wins could be the Thijs Slayer.
I mean, Thijs is on a roll. He needs somebody to stop him. That's what needs to happen right now. I mean,
does he need someone to stop him, really?
It's like I have to root against him because he's doing so well, right? He's the villain right now for everyone else.
Oh, that's not fair on Thijs. I mean,
he doesn't look like one.
He doesn't look like a villain.
Right.
So Orange, you could say, is the underdog, but not much of an underdog, really, because, of course, he's a player of exceptional skill. He has beaten Thijs already this week, if you tuned into that, so he could do it again.
Yeah. So both players ban each other's warrior, but we don't see the lineups, lining up here. We know that Orange has a hunter. Thijs as well has brought his own. He's got the Paladin with the more mid-rangey approach, and he's got, if I'm not mistaken, no mage, right? Because he absolutely hates the class. Instead, he brought a Zoo deck.
Yeah, Mage is not in the lineup here. Mage for Orange is kind of having mixed results. He is finding wins with it, but he said, I don't feel like it's my best deck in my lineup. Hunter is definitely by far his best deck. He's shown that. He's even said that himself. Druid has had kind of mixed results in this tournament, but we do have two of the Druid players going into the top three here, so Druid still has some relevance as far as this format's concerned.
Yeah, Druid is good, but when there's no patron to exploit, it's a little worse. And when when you're going to ban Patron, maybe it doesn't matter, that you bring Druid. Maybe you don't need to bring it. Maybe something else would be more fitting. Thijs' lineup, I think, is exactly what I would expect maybe Orange to have if he didn't want to bring Druid. It seems like something that I expected out of more players than just Thijs alone.
So game number 1, Hunter versus Paladin, winners finals. A winner goes on 2 grand finals, the other will go on to play Stansifka in the losers finals.
Right.
So Zombie Chow, an important tool in Thijs' deck. He's talked about it, on how it influences mid-range secret Paladin. Definitely a great keep against these hybrid hunters.
Yeah, Orange is running maybe a bit more of a mid-range one. I mean, he's got the Strangle Thorn Tiger. It's a very slow minion, but we've seen it work every single time the way that it has to, whereby it's guaranteeing extra damage, and on turn 6, sometimes, if you've been curving very nicely, say your turn 1 and 2 have been great, you've gotten some damage in on 4, and then on 5 you drop the Strangle Thorn, on 6 you're ready for a double kill command, maybe an Arcane Golem, abusive, hero power. Lots of things can be done, and the Strangle Thorn gives you the extra reach, or otherwise a good trading tool.
Notice the 2 6-drops in their hands, Mysterious Challenger for Thijs and High Main for Orange, but Orange has turn number one, he goes first, so his High Main gets to be played safely around Repentance. That might be an important thing going forward, especially if Thijs wants to challenge the Mysterious Challenger when he comes down.
Right. One of the things to keep in mind as well with Thijs, he's got the Challenger, he's on the coin, so he's going to play technically afterwards, but if he keeps the coin, he could be the one who makes the first move. And in that case, he would be the one who's who's ahead.
So
by having the Zombie Chow killed, you have no reason to not, to use up your coin for Coghammer.
Now the coin is very important in how the turn 6 plays are going to play out.
Yeah.
Is High Main going to come down safely and have the initiative to be able to attack after the Challenger, or is Challenger going to come down first for the coin, and then the High Main might be a bit clunky on 6 getting hit by Repentance and not getting as much value as you would. So Thijs getting a bit secret clogged here, finding 3 of his secrets. Avenge is obviously one that is quite useful, especially when some trading goes on, but Competitive Spirit is something I would like to find from a Mysterious Challenger generally.
Yeah, Thijs here is in a weird spot, because if he goes for the Coghammer first and kills the Mad Scientist, if a Freezing Trap is there, then he loses the taunt and he loses the value that he gets from, the buff. However, if he attacks first, then uses the Coghammer, kills the Mad Scientist. If there's a bow, it's a problem, because he's going to give it another charge. And on the flip side, if there's no bow, but there's a Shredder, then at least he can Blessing of Kings his taunt minion to tank the Powder Shredder. So there's a lot of considerations to make here. Do you want to keep the 1/1 as a taunt? Do you want to send it back to your hand because it's a very low impact Freezing Trap? I feel like the low impact Freezing Trap is a good argument. Blessing of Kings to go face forces Orange in a very tricky spot as well.
So the coin does get used here, so that means it's going to let Orange play the High Main first before the Challenger, which may provide a big influence on the direction of the game. But 5 damage is going to go to the face here. Nice 5/5 body from Thijs and that Blessing of Kings. Freezing Trap may be able to come down here. Does Orange run any other traps, if I remember? I can't. They've all been running so many traps.
They've been running like Rainbow Hunters to put it mildly. I mean, right now the Freezing Trap just looks so good because there's no way the 2/2 dies unless there's something like a True Silver Champion, a 1-minion Consecration, not happening, or the Coghammer that we see in Thijs' hand. I wouldn't be surprised to see Thijs just opt for the Coghammer, kill the Mad Scientist, and pass.
Wow, Mysterious Challenger, another one. But the thing is, Thijs has a lot of secrets in his hand already. So it's that Competitive Spirit, something you want to find with the Mysterious Challenger, and will have to be played on its own. So the second Mysterious Challenger might not be as effective, but it's still a 6/6.
Yeah, but Thijs did waste the Mad Scientist's Death Rattle here by killing it with a Coghammer, something Orange did not expect. I believe he's going to give himself the ability to negate the draw and the play from the secrets from Mad Scientist. I mean, you mentioned the double Challenger being a bit worthless. In a way, they are, but at least you're guaranteed to get the Noble Sacrifice from both of them. At the moment, at least, nothing else would happen.
And a 6/6 body.
Right, it's something. A 6/6 is nothing to scoff at.
So now he needs to decide what he's going to do. I guess you don't attack. I mean, a 5/5 Divine Shield with Taunt against a Hybrid
Redemption
Hunter is good. Yeah, Redemption could be fine. Putting 1 secret down is good, I think, anyway, because it makes Orange think more about what he wants to do. And if he thinks it's a Noble Sacrifice, his charge minions might feel a bit more worthless. You want to keep your opponent guessing with these secrets, and Paladin secrets, there's so many you can play. There's like 5, right? So it's best to keep your opponent kind of on edge.
The worst for Orange here. If it's Noble Sacrifice, he's in a world of hurt. If it's not, it doesn't kill a 5/5. And if you pass, the Hunter, the Huffer will die to the weapon from Thijs. Nothing good can come from this Huffer at all.
One time you don't want Huffer. I mean, everyone wants Huffer usually, but It's not good here.
But it's always Huffer.
It's always
What was he
Huffer.
thinking?
He should have known.
Yeah, what's up with that? Oh, Thijs picks up a really good play to negate the freezing trap coming forward in the next turn. He even gets to play, you know, the zombie chow, gets a 1/1 on top of that if he wants, can kill the Huffer with his weapon. I think Thijs is drawing what he needs right now.
And if he plays Avenge as well, and even Competitive Spirit, you can cycle these secrets out, get them on the field before the Challenger comes down, and they'll hopefully pop off for him. And then the Mysterious Challenger can fetch fresh secrets
Yeah,
for the
the
upcoming
competitive
turns.
spirit I really like here, because you're gonna get the second one anyway, and it might trigger on this board.
Do you play the Avenge? I think so.
I mean, do you think one of your minions will die, right? If he couldn't kill your 5/5 last turn, can he do it now? Because you're going to get the Avenge from the other Challenger. I don't think
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
it's necessary.
Eagle Horn Bow, so
Yes.
that is a way to deal with the Divine Shield at least.
Yeah, I mean, he can use the Unleash if he wants to. I think high main overall, though, is borderline necessary. Because on turn 7, the Unleash into Abusive, into Bow, gives him a lot of clearing potential.
Now a 6/6 with Divine Shield, and now we can run one of his littler dudes into the freezing trap, bounce it back to his hand, and he has free reign on what he wants to do with this high main.
Alright, so the 2/2 goes back. Effectively, it's a 1/1, of course, but Thijs is in an amazing spot. He will get every other secret in his deck, which is Noble Sacrifice, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, you know, another Avenge that he's got in hand right now. So he's got the combination of Avenge, Noble Sac, and Redemption.
So Thijs is trading here because he doesn't want to be punished by Owl, and he gets a full clear. He could have been super aggressive, but he doesn't really need to right now. He has such a strong board that's so overwhelming, it's going to be really hard for Orange to come back anyway. So you might as well play it safe, because what Paladin does best sometimes, and then let Orange be the one who's responding.
Yeah, Orange doesn't have a bow. You know, he didn't have a bow before the freezing trap was triggered. So what happens here is if he wants to clear this board, he's committing a lot of resources, and there's a good chance that one of the minions is out of reach anyway afterwards with the Avenge triggering. I think Orange is not liking the position he's put in right now.
It's a very losing position.
Yeah, definitely not a good one.
I mean, Arcane Golem can come down with the Abusive Sergeant. It'll clear the 6/6. Well, one of the 6/6s.
Oh my God!
Oh, forget that. He's
All
not
the
going to
eggs
clear
in
that
one
guy.
basket, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
Well, you can always, you know, throw everything at it, but you still have a 6/6, a 3/2, and a 2/1 on the board at the end of this play. And he's got more mana.
Oh, man. So tough. And second challenger come down. He's got a True Silver, another Avenge. He's got so many options going forward, and so many resources pumped into a 1/1 that just kept getting buffed, right?
A 1/1, you say? I don't see that anymore. Oh my God, what a devastating sequence of plays from Thijs. I mean, the second challenger doesn't bring out anything. I think maybe one Noble Sacrifice.
Yeah, one Noble Sack.
That's about it, I think, though.
One Noble Sack is enough, though. A 6/6 with Noble Sack is really good. He gets developed another minion here with the button, hero power button, or you can go for an Avenge, but I can't see a way back for Orange here.
I like the Avenge. I think it's all right. I mean, when else are you going to play it? It's fine here. What could Orange even do? What could he even do?
Concede?
I mean, the escape concede play looks really strong right now. I don't really see a way out of it.
Finding the freezing trap to the hand as well is not
Give
what
him an
you
extra
want.
bow charge, you know, for all that late game.
Oh, well, I mean, he could play the freezing trap now. Oh, he doesn't even kill the zombie chow.
No.
Forget what I was saying.
Yeah, he's actually buffing probably the zombie chow at this rate.
He's
to
just locked
rub
out.
salt in the wound.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Hey, look, that 1/1 is back.
So, Thijs taking the first game there quite convincingly, just showing you how powerful Secret Paladin can be if it curves out really nice. He had a clunky kind of secret hand to start with, but as soon as the Mysterious Challengers start finding its way to his hand, we to play them back to back, Orange just didn't have any answers.
Yeah, right. I think the turn 4 play from Thijs, you know, when he used up the coin very early, I think it ended up paying off. You know, the turn 2 with just a single 1/1 being played didn't look too strong, but the fact that there was a freezing trap played from hand gave him the opportunity with Coghammer to negate the second freezing trap from the Scientist. Orange was not playing around Coghammer because he had no reason to.
Look how much value that 1/1 got. It got Taunted Divine Shield, then buffed through a Blessing of Kings, then buffed through Avenge.
It killed a high main, it got buffed through Revenge, ate an Arcane Golem, an Abusive, and 2 1/1 Hounds. It was actually the biggest 1/1 in history.
Crazy stuff. There, game number 2, Thijs accusing his Warlock against Hunter. Orange should have a better time here. On paper.
Technically, it should. Yeah, I mean, it's an easier matchup. The Hunter's got a lot of damage to punish the Warlock for life tapping, and even though the Warlock has on paper higher value minions individually, they trade better. The problem is if he ever gets a dominant board, then he gets punished by Unleash the Hounds. Explosive Trap is not in Orange's deck, so that's not something that Thijs will have to worry about. Not as bad as Kalento's deck, for instance, but it's still a very difficult matchup to navigate.
So he has a good curve with the Haunted Creeper named Gambos, but he definitely wants a 1-drop here. Orange gets the Haunted Creeper, mulligans away the rest. Like I said, Unleash the Hound can be really good. And a Mad Scientist as well on the coin, so he gets 2/2-drops back to back. Argent Squire as well, so that's not too bad if he was facing Lepinomes, but yeah, none in sight at the moment.
Like the Void Caller here with the Doomguard just picked up a lot of value. Thijs might be able to go for, turn 2 Haunted Creeper, turn 3, any demon he has will be played. Then the Void Caller might get a free Doomguard, almost guaranteed. Orange will have to try to get himself the perfect freezing trap to counter those coming down the line. But right now, Orange can play it a bit slower. The Creeper is a great way to stop an Ardent Squire from getting any value whatsoever, but it will be met with a Twin Sister.
Alright, Haunted Creeper time, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Spider battles. Golden Spider from Orange, though. He's got the bling spider.
Yeah. Orange is way too blingy.
Everything's golden.
Why not?
You don't get golden coin with a full golden deck, do you?
You do.
You do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That is a reward to invest in all that.
What a reward, right? What a crazy reward that is. You get a golden coin at the beginning of a game 50% of the time.
Wow.
All that value, man.
I know what I'm going to be doing when I get home.
Yeah, I know, man.
Buying those packs.
$1,500? Pocket change.
So he gets to squeeze in the tap here, find some more cards. Abusive Sergeant.
That's actually not too bad because he can use the 1/1 to attack, the Creeper to pop the Scientist and attack face with the Squire to negate the freezing trap that comes out.
Actually, that's really good. I like that.
It's a bit open to Unleash, right? But I think it's fine. If an Unleash comes out here, it's not the biggest of your worries, technically.
And the Argent Squire does a lot better against things like Unleash the Hounds and Lepinomes, and so maybe you'll find some use later. But this Void Caller is looking very delicious with this Doomguard ready to come down. Unleash the Hound's going to come down here, going to clear up, I imagine, unless he goes on the aggressive.
Full minions. You know what? These 3 1/1s, I like the fact that he used the Creeper to trade here. Because I was going to say, if he ends up using the Hounds, he's in a position where he's got a very small board. But by popping the Spider, he puts himself with more minions on the board than Thijs can populate the board with, no matter what. And that's definitely a lot better.
So Flame Imp does make things a little awkward. But I don't think Thijs is expecting to see this guy go down straight away.
I mean, Animal Companion from Orange as well. By popping the Spider, he's also making Leok a viable option. So not only is there Huffer, but there's also the Misha and the Leok. So the 3 Animal Companions would be good. Of course, with the Void Caller, you don't necessarily want to risk it. It's a bit dangerous to go for that unless you're absolutely forced to. So he's just going to play it passively. Let Thijs play the demons if he wants to. But Thijs will take full advantage of that. Oh my goodness, the curve.
Double Doomguard.
I mean, let's just do it.
So now we can drop his Flame Imp.
Yeah.
And get rid of that. He can run the Void Caller into the Shredder and get one of his Doomguards. Still another Doomguard waiting as well to come out when he needs it.
1 hit, and there will be a second one from the Doomguard coming out. The 1/1 again could die from this. Let's see what comes out of the Shredder. Could be a game breaker.
Look again!
Welcome back, old friend. This is the 4th time you show up in this event. I don't understand this. From what I've calculated, we're looking at a 10% chance to get Lord Walker Cho from these Shredders.
He's just a lonely guy. He just wants to hang out with all these cool spiders and imps and gnomes with knives.
Lone Walker Cho.
Lone Walker Cho.
Lone Walker Cho. That's a pun that I thought you liked.
I do. What is this with this guy? He just doesn't go away. He just keeps showing up.
I don't get this.
Look, Lone Walker Cho, we're going to have words after this game. Because
I mean, Orange is just out of his mind. He's like, you know what? This game is absolute garbage. Freezing Trap, not a secret anymore. Who cares? I can just play it face up. Oh,
we know
man.
Lord Walker Cho really benefits Thijs because he only has 2 spells in his deck. Well, 4 spells in his deck. 2 Powerful Overwhelmings, 2 Implosions. That's probably about it. He does have one of the Overwhelmings in his hand. Oh, he's going to give it.
He's going to try to sacrifice the Lord Walker Cho with Leok. Is it going to work? And it will. He does get the opportunity opportunity to use the Cho as a sacrificial lamb, but he can't kill it. If he does that, then Doomguard, I mean, he's going to use Cho as a trading tool. Oh my god, this can't be real.
Cho sticks around. So Cho is super happy he gets to do something. He did actually help a Savage Roar win for StarSeries against Kalento yesterday in the last game, but...
It was instrumental. The extra Lore Walker Cho. I mean, if it had been any other 2-drop, Kalento would have killed it. Because it was Cho, it didn't feel like... there was no sense of urgency, but because it was a 0-4, you're like, I'm going to let it stick around. And that 0-4 was the extra 2 damage from Savage Roar that StarSeries needed. What's interesting here, too, is that because Orange gave his opponent Animal Companion, Thijs gets to determine whether or not he wants to take full advantage of that, because now he could kill the Cho of his own volition and go for the Companion and not suffer any drawback.
You need to figure out how much of a threat Leok is. I mean...
I'd kill Leok long before I'd kill Cho here, I think. You can afford to play it slowly. You're pretty far ahead, right?
And if you kill Leok as well, Cho can't attack anymore.
Right.
So it might lock out Orange of even more spells. Right now, locking
hilarious.
locking Thijs out of spells just doesn't really mean anything. He doesn't really care.
You want to play Unleash? Be my guest.
I'll take it.
Oh, this is magnificent.
Do you know what would be completely tragic? If Thijs needs 4 damage for lethal and he rolls Animal Companion into Huffer.
Oh my god. This is definitely... I think he's got 8 damage right now in 4 mana with the Animal Companion power overwhelming. 100%.
So much burst from his hand.
Yeah.
Following that Animal Companion pickup from Warlock Cho.
And turn 9, you know, Animal Companion, power overwhelming, 8 damage, Doomguard, an extra 5.
And here's the high main.
Alright, we're going to have to answer this. Thijs, do you have the answer? Is Lore Walker Cho going to go down here? I suspect there's a good chance because you don't want to give your opponent that power overwhelming, nor do you want to give it the Animal Companion.
Yeah, take out Lore Walker Cho. I mean, even though that came from Orange's Shredder, Thijs has benefited the most. So the Shredder actually been a bit of a nuisance for Orange against the Huffer.
And here we go. Are we seeing the full face play here? Or is that not worth it?
I'd like to see it just for the fun of it.
You just buff up the egg and just smash everything.
Yeah, just smash everything in face. You've got a Doomguard in hand. Do you really want to be
I
picking
don't
away
even
a
know
high
what's
main?
going on anymore. This game makes literally no sense to me. So Orange with pretty much no way to win besides maybe getting the Unleash at the last second here. Clean up some of the stuff, but high main is too slow. Stranglethorn does nothing. And the bow, I mean, it's just kind of
Just not enough.
useless card here.
Freezing Trap will be able to stop something, but only stop a 1-drop or a 2-drop. It's not enough. He gets the Huffer.
I mean, it could have been Leok, right? I mean, Leok would have also done 4 damage. So, I mean, technically, there's really no big difference. Misho is the only, I wouldn't say terrible one, but the worst one of all of them. Oh, man, Huffer. I don't even know. Why is Cho so... I don't even know what to say about this game anymore.
Cho has just been ruining people's days.
Yeah. Or making them, in my case.
Yeah, or making them, yeah. I can't believe you've seen him so much. It's crazy.
That's Orange. I mean, he's looking at the board, calculating. He's like, you know, I'm actually on 1 effective health if there's no more damage from Thijs. But Thijs will not have any of it and just win outright with the Doomguard, taking a 2-0 lead in the series.
Lore Walker Cho winning yet another game, pretty much. That Huffer being instrumental in finding that lethal for Thijs so quickly. Lore Walker Cho should be the mascot of StarLadder, man. He just keeps showing up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. I need to put together a cosplay real quick between now and the next match just to make sure that I can represent him no matter what happens.
Just both of us sat in panda costumes,
Yep.
casting away.
Yeah, pretty cool panda.
So Thijs needs 1 more game now just to go on to the grand finals of a 3-0. You can potentially do it here. Hunter queuing up into Malfurion. Hunter can generally have a very good matchup against the Druid if it gets a lot of early pressure, and Druid finds those clunky hands, but he has a Shredder, he has a Shade.
You want to talk early pressure? I think Thijs has got just the early pressure he needs. Lepernome, Glaivezuka. I don't think the hand can get worse from here, only better, right?
Yeah, throw away the explosive, find a Huffer, he'll be fine, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of damage. And the worst part is, until Orange is able to get a really clean swipe, he's going to be playing somewhat slowly. At least he finds an amazing 2-drop, and it will kill the Lepernome. So he's going to trade 1 for 1 because Glaivezuka's here, but otherwise, I like this.
And he has a Wrath as well. That'll help slow down Thijs' aggression. So Coin Aspirant, I imagine, is going to come out. So this Leponome actually might end up trading. He still gets the 2 damage from the Death Rattle.
Would you go for Freezing Trap, however? I guess not, because it's a free... You're giving him another Mana Crystal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely not something you want to do. Would you like to double ramp, sir?
Yeah, Glavezuka. Let's see if he trades. I imagine he will. Yep, you're not having any ramp there, Orange. I'm going to take that away from you. 4 damage being dealt. He might actually hold on to the weapon here in case he thinks he's going to see maybe another Aspirant? I don't know.
I mean, the Glavezuka is good so long as you don't have another weapon yet queued up and ready to go, because it's really, there's no drawback to holding on to it. It's really just getting bad when you've got, you know, say Eaglehorn Bow and you have to you know, worry about how much time you're going to have before you expend all your charges. Right now, I feel like sitting on it in the early game like this is perfectly okay.
I mean, with the expectation of Patron being banned a lot as well, these Druids might not want to tech Harrison Jones. They might find something a bit more useful.
Right.
We had Stan Sifka running 2 big game hunters. I'm not sure if he was running Harrison in his Druid as well.
I don't remember seeing it there. Actually, yes, it was there with the Ancient of Lore. That's right. He had the option at some point. He's playing Harrison Jones in every single deck.
So he has all the tech he needs. Of course, because he's not banning the Patron, obviously makes more sense for him. But for Orange, if he's just going to be banning Patron every time, he may not need a Harrison Jones.
Oh, great card here for Thijs.
Don't worry, love.
This is absolutely crazy. The cavalry's here.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry.
Yeah.
He is so British.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Is he not?
I think this is like Tracer's long, you know, ancestor from the fantasy era of the Overwatch world.
And Overwatch is going to take over my life, I think.
Now they have
He
a very
says casting Hearthstone.
I think all Hearthstone fans are looking forward to all Blizzard fans are looking forward to Overwatch at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard not to get excited about it. Now, Orange here opts for a card cycle play with the Wrath, which I like a lot because it removed the Divine Shield, you know, makes the swipe a lot better. Assuming there's a Shredder from Thijs, you'd be able to at least remove the bigger body, the biggest part of it. And luckily for Orange, there's not even that, so the swipe will be just perfect. To the point where, would you maybe consider slowing it down and just playing the Shredder instead? Not after this, definitely
No,
not.
perhaps not. No, the Freezing Trap's going to make things a little bit more troublesome.
Yeah.
Even if he does swipe these 2 guys, Lofeb follows up a 5/5 body, which he can't respond to with the taunts, the spells, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Orange. So swipe the face just to clear up these 2 guys. Lofeb probably going to follow up now.
Yeah, what's really good too is we can notice right now just how important it is that Thijs has been holding on to the weapon, because when the Druid of the Claw from Orange comes down this turn, which I assume it will as a 4/6 with taunt, using the Lotheb and the weapon will be enough to go through the Druid. He's got, of course, the option of Unleash the Hounds and Kill Command and keep the Lotheb alive on full health to keep going through. We'll see what he ends up doing. I like both lines of play a lot.
Oh, another Glavezuka.
What do you think about Unleash Kill Command here? You trade the Hound. I mean, you keep the Hound, you attack the Druid with your face, and you attack for 6.
Well, considering he has no other minions in hand, Lofeb may be
Very valuable.
more valuable. Because if you hit him down to 1 health by trading into this this Druid, he's easily Raft, he's easily Swipe.
Yeah.
I like this actually from Thijs. He's protecting his Lofeb. He's still protected by the Freezing Trap as well. So, you know, Orange still has to deal with a Freezing Trap yet. So he's still got a lot of work to do. Actually keeps the Hound alive. I really like this.
Yeah, he realizes he's got no minions. And Orange here, because he's got the swipe, is at least going to be able to answer this nicely to an extent, right? I mean, he has to swipe in hero power, kill the Lotheb. It's not something you're too happy about, I imagine. You're taking another 5 against a Hunter. You're slowing down. You're giving the initiative back his way. The trap is still not triggered. He's at least going to check for Snake in case he forgot something.
The one thing is, though, that after Lotheb and the Hound, he's got a Glavezuka, and then he's top decking. So he still needs to find some more pressure. He might whiff on his draws here.
Oh, he
that's
finds
not
a Huffer.
Does he find a Huffer?
Of course. He just found
Alright.
it. Don't you see? It's right there.
No, that's not a Huffer.
I lied to you. Then again, it doesn't matter because Orange right now has no way to deal with the 5/4 Misha anyway. You have to go for double Savage Roar, maybe find a way to buff the attack through Marco the Wild with Big Game Hunter. Lotheb doesn't solve this, Dr. Boom doesn't solve it. I can't think of a play from Orange that's going to stop this Misha from killing him.
I don't think so. I think that's it, really. 5 damage from the Misha and the hero power alone is enough. Being locked out by this Hybrid Hunter.
Looks like a 3-0 from Thijs, a completely crushing victory.
Thijs keeping on form, keeping consistent with his tournament results so far. He is now in the grand finals, in the winner's side. I'm not sure how they're going to determine what penalties a loser will suffer. Is it a best of 7? I'm not sure. We'll have to look that up for you guys.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you go from winner's bracket side...
To the loser's bracket, what you're going to do is play against the winner of the loser's match.
But the loser needs to have a disadvantage for going to
he's already got
bracket.
one. He's got to win an extra match.
An extra match. So there we go. So Thijs is going to have an advantage here.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
he's got to win
So
2 in a row.
congratulations again. We can talk again. So what do you think about this ban system that we made?
I think this ban system is really good for Hearthstone. You won't see always the same decks. People go with a different strategy, and yeah, you see a lot more different decks, and I think it's good for the game.
You're in one step from the grand final. Who do you think will be your opponent in it?
Hard to say. For me, it will be better. I think Orange. I think my lineup has an advantage for him, so I hope Orange will do it. But if Sivka makes it, I'm really happy for him too.
I wish you good luck in the grand finals and congratulations again. And we go back to our casters.
All right, so Stan Sivka is going to be playing up against Orange afterwards. We're going to have to see if he's able to beat him, because we know that Orange and Thijs both beat Stan Sivka in the round-robin phase. And if Orange beats Stan Sivka's out. However, if Stan Sivka goes through, he then gets to face off against Thijs. He's already in the top 3 guaranteed right now.
I know he gets to play his friend Thijs in the grand finals. Orange is going to be a tough opponent because Stan Sivka did struggle a little bit. His handlock falling short against that lineup. But if anyone can do it, it's definitely Stan Sivka. And Orange has still got the drive and the motivation to go forward as well. So both those players are going to be bringing an exciting match to conclude who goes to the grand finals against Thijs.
Yeah, we'll be taking a short break before we do that, guys. So we'll be back in a few. Don't go anywhere.